Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm back here at Ciocca Kia in Ewing, New Jersey to take a look at this brand new 2023 Kia Rio S. This is in clear white, and we're going to check this out, see what it brings to the table in this sub $20,000 MSRP market. So let's dig in. All right, the front end on this little Kia Rio S, we have that small little tiger nose grille underneath the Kia badge on this clear white vehicle. We have standard lighting. There's no LED lighting on the Rio S unless you opt for the S technology package. We have functionality in the grille down below, some fake vents on either side, which really don't do any good. But overall, for a little car, for a little bit of money, it doesn't look too bad up front. Wheel and tire setup on this little Rio. We have a 15-inch wheel. These are steel wheels with plastic hubcaps. Really old school, going back probably to the 70s with that action. But we have front disc brakes, rear drum brakes. In order to get disc brakes in the back, you need to go with that S technology package, which this does not have. However, these little 15-inch steel wheels are wrapped in Continental Pro Contact all-season tires, 185 on the width, a 65 series sidewall, 15s, all four corners, front wheel drive. All right, full side profile on this little clear white Rio S hatch, and it's a good looking car for a really small car. I mean, it is teeny. But it's a good looking design. It's been around for a while. Not sure if this is going to be the final year for the Rio or not. Kia hasn't said anything yet, but I kind of like the way it looks. It looks really cute, and you know, cute sells. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Moving in closer, we are color matched on the side view mirrors. We are color matched on the front and the rear door handle, a left side fuel filler cap. Up top, color matched white roof with the old style antenna, and there is no sunroof. Rear end of the Rio S, we have a teeny weeny little roof spoiler kick up in the back. Rear wiper on the bottom of the glass, Kia badge in the middle, Rio on the left, standard lighting in the back as well, no LEDs unless you go S technology. Flat black along the bottom of the bumper area around the license plate, and we have our exhaust tailpipe tucked up underneath the right side of the vehicle. All right, we're under the hood of this little Kia Rio S. What do we have for a power plant? Well, we have a 1.6 liter naturally aspirated inline 4-cylinder engine mated to a CVT transmission. 120 horsepower, 112 pound-feet of torque. MPGs 32 in the city, 41 on the highway, 36 combined. The engine's minimum octane rating is 87. So you can run this on regular unleaded gas. All right, before we get into the interior of this Rio S, you're going to want to know, Mike, how much does this cost? Well, the MSRP for the Rio S hatchback with 4 options is $17,690. This Rio has a few options. It has the cargo mats for the 5-door for $95, carpeted floor mats for $175, the cargo net 5-door for $55. Then you have to add in a $1,125 for shipping and delivery charges, and you have a total MSRP of $19,140. Let's check out the interior. Footbox action, nice large dead pedal brake and accelerator. Carpeted floor mats are in the back of the vehicle. Manual assist for both front seats, no power seats in this little Rio. Black cloth with the white stitching and a nice little design. So they're trying to give it a little bit of flair considering it's a very inexpensive material on the seats. Overall, not bad for a car under 20 G's. All right, door panel action. Nice design on how it looks. However, it's all the same material. Hard black plastic everywhere with that brushed aluminum door handle. Even the armrest on the door is hard black plastic. There's no give in that. Up top, more hard black plastic. This nice brushed aluminum or silver type trim, trying to break up all the black in here. And then underneath here, we have a nice large glove box. As we come on over to our center stack, we have 2 heat and air vents. And then we have Kia's base 8-inch infotainment system. There's no nav in here. All the nav is going to come through your phone. But the upside to Kia's base system is it's wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, which is a nice touch. You can Bluetooth your phone. You can go to your vehicle setup. You have your device connections. You have your Wi-Fi hotspot. So it's not bad. Not bad at all, especially when you're getting in a sub $20,000 vehicle for MSRP, your wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. And now the backup camera looks really good. With trajectory, takes up the whole screen, nice and clear. So they did a good job there. Here are your hard controls for your radio and media. Down below, there's no climate control. You have your standard heat and air controls. Down further, you have a USB-A and a 12-volt with some storage. Here is the gear shift to go through the simulated gears of this CVT. And then we have 2 cup holders and your electronic emergency brake. And then a teeny weeny little armrest that's got some soft touch on it with some stitching. And then in there, a nice area for storage. Kia key fob, not a bad little key fob for an inexpensive car. We have lock, unlock, pop the tailgate, panic button, Kia badge on the back. Not bad, but this is not a push button start vehicle. To get that, you got to go with the S Technology package. So you have to push the button, you get the key, and you stick the key into your ignition barrel and turn. Kia steering wheel, soft touch steering wheel, but this nice 10 and 2 notches, the Kia badge on the horn button. You do have some aluminum trim down here to give it a little style. On the left, you have your telephone voice commands and your modes for your infotainment system. And then on the right, you have your cruise control settings over here. Not adaptive, just regular cruise in this little Rio. And then over here on the left, you have your headlight controls. And on the right, your front and rear wiper controls. Down below here, you have the brighten and dim the dash traction control off. And then down on the floor by your foot is the lever to open the fuel filler door. This is a tilting and telescoping steering wheel, and then we have the dash setup, analog and digital combo, analog gauges for your speedometer, tachometer, fuel level, and coolant temperature, and then a small digital display in the middle. Now on the dash, if you want to move through that digital information in the center, you have to actually use this trip button, which doesn't seem very intuitive. But when you press that trip button, it's going to take you through different information on the center portion of this dash. So that's how it is done. Drive mode action. You have normal, and then down here you have a button here for sport. So if you push that, then your sport comes on. And then it gives it a little bit more of a sporty drive. Overhead console, non-LED lighting, not surprising. You want the dome lights to come on and off when you open and close the door. This button right here remains in the center. So when you open the door, your lights will come on. When you close the door, your lights will dim out. You have a spot for your shades right here. No sunroof, visor, hard plastic, but it does have vanity and a light. So they got you covered there. Does it slide all the way back? Yes, it does to block out the side sun. That's a good job. Getting in the back seat of this little Rio. Driver's seat is set for my driving position. Let's see how it goes. Watch your head. Low bridge getting in the back. But we're in the back, and look at that. A nice amount of space back here. Nice amount of headroom. Nice amount of shoulder width room at 5'11". We have the same cloth action. No seat pocket here behind the driver, but we do have a seat pocket behind the front passenger. In the back, we don't have heat and air vents. But we do have one USB-A for connectivity, so they give you at least something. And then, back here on the door panel, same action as the front, all the same hard black plastic materials, but it is the same design. There's your front door panel, and here is the back door panel. So they remain consistent. Back seats, same action with the cloth, with the stitching, with the dual design on the seats, and they're nice and comfortable, but we don't have an armrest back here. And I don't care how cheap a car is. Come on, please give me an armrest with a couple of cup holders, because now the only cup holders I have back here are the ones that are in the door, and they're not going to hold much of a cup. But overall, it's a nice area back here, and it's pretty comfortable in the back of this little Rio. Rear tailgate time in this Rio hatchback, you can pop it from the key fob, or you can come to the back, and right underneath the Kia badge there's a little handle. You push it and you lift up, nice and light, nice and easy. And look at this nice area in the back for storage. You do have the optional cargo net, which I mentioned when I looked at the options in the car. Now here's our carpeted floor mats right here for the cargo area, which is nice. And then if you look all the way down here, you got a spare tire. So they got you covered with a spare, so that's a nice touch. So a nice area back here for bags and whatnot. And you have your security shelf, which I think is a pain in the neck. But if you don't want that on, all you have to do is unhook it on either side. Now it'll drop straight down out of the way. And now we can put our rear seats down right from the back using that little button there. This one on this side, push it on down. And now you got a good amount of space for those larger items here in this little Rio. So again, in every Kia I've seen, they have a great use of rear seat room and cargo areas in their cars. Here is the window sticker for this little 2023 Rio S 5-door hatch. So we're going to zoom in, let you see everything that is in this vehicle. Standard equipment right here. And then our options, which isn't much, right here, with our total MSRP down below. So now, let's take her out for a spin. All right, we are on the road in this little Rio S for 2023, and we've driven one of these a few months ago. I want to say probably like 4 months ago. We did that sporty blue one. So that one we didn't take on much of a drive because I had like no gas. This one we have much more gas in it. So we're going to kind of vary the drive a little bit here. We're going to do a little back road action. We're going to do a little highway action, which we didn't do on the last one, to see how it does getting up to speed on the highway with this little engine without a lot of horsepower. But around town, it does pretty well. It gets the car up to speed. The simulated shift set of this CVT are nice and smooth. It's very quiet. The driveline, I think, for a little 4-cylinder is pretty quiet. You get that nice linear torque delivery out of this naturally aspirated 4. So it's a really pleasant car to drive. Now, it's really small. Every other car on the road is bigger than you. So, well, you gotta, I don't know, you may feel a little intimidated when you first get in this thing and realize, my God, I'm the smallest thing out here on the road. And even cars that look small when I'm driving an SUV now look huge. But it drives smoothly. When you hit the bumps, you can feel the bumps. It is a small car. The tires are not that wide. So you are going to feel the bumps when you hit them, and you're riding lower. So when you get into this car, you get down into the car because it's lower to the ground than, let's say, your standard sedan might be. So that if that's a problem for you getting down into a car and then getting back up out of it, then this might not be the car for you. But plenty of visibility out the front windshield, side glass, rear view mirror, no problem. But now we're going to come up onto the highway and see how this does on the merge. Now, the unfortunate thing is I don't have any blind spot monitoring or cross traffic alert or lane keep assist or any of that technology. It's not in this car. You have no driver aids in this vehicle at all. If you want those driver aids, you got to go with the Rio S technology package, and then you'll get them. So be careful. Just don't assume you got those driver aids, because when you go under 20K, you're not going to get them. And I'm not so sure I agree with that in today's day and age. I think at minimum, what Kia could do in this Rio S is to put in your blind spot monitoring and your cross traffic alert at a minimum. That way at least you have something out your side view mirrors if you can't see the blind spot. That's what I would do. But it is what it is. That's what you have in here, unless you go S Technology package. Then you get the full suite of stuff with that package. But it's a nice zippy little car to drive around in, considering the engine is so small, but the car is really small, and it doesn't weigh a whole heck of a lot. And look at the way it holds the line on this ramp. Really, really well. I mean, I knew I was impressed when I first drove this car, but now I came into this one with my expectations a little bit higher, and it really has some good handling for a little car that doesn't cost much. I mean, look at the way it holds this line going around the ramp here. I'm hitting this ramp curve at about 40. Look at that. Really, really nice. And now we're gonna kick it in the ass and get it up to speed. And here we are, up to highway speed, 70 miles an hour. Not a problem at all. So I have to hand it to Kia. For a really inexpensive car, they made one that brings a lot of value to somebody who can't afford to spend more than $20,000 MSRP on a car, or doesn't want to spend more than $20,000 MSRP in a car because they may be using it as a commuter car in and out of the city, and they don't want to get a really expensive car all banged up going into the city. And around me, that's Philly and New York. So, right, or a lot of people commute by train. They want to take a car like this, leave it at the train station all day while they work, and then come home. And, you know, train station parking lots, cars get banged up all the time in there because they're so fully packed. So this would fit the bill for that kind of thing. Or if you just need something to get from point A to point B, carry you and your passengers and some gear comfortably at a really bottom basement price, this is it. This car is really, really good for its price, and it's punching well above its weight. Now, if you add the S Technology package into this car, you're increasing the price by $1,800. So that's up to you to decide if you want to stay at the 19 and change. But if you add that, you're probably going to be close to 21 grand on this car with the S Technology. Now for me, I would probably do the S Technology package because I want rear disc brakes. I want the alloy wheels instead of steel wheels with plastic hubcaps. You do get a 15-inch alloy wheel with the S Technology package rather than the steel wheel and the hubcap. So I would want that. I'd also want to have my safety suite of technology in here to help me with the driver aids. And you get LED headlights with the S Technology package as well. That'll really help brighten up your surroundings at night with that whiter light so you can see better. So there's a lot of good things in this S Technology package that would make the car, I think, more livable on a day in and day out basis, and perform better, especially with the rear disc brakes in the back. It should perform a lot better, especially in its braking. But we're taking a nice ride down. Now I'm going to be quiet, let you listen to the heavy wind noise. You can really hear that wind action coming. We don't have much sound deadening in here. You can feel the road. You can hear the road. You can hear the other cars around you. So for this kind of price, you're not going to get like an insulated car that's not going to give you any wind noise or any road noise. That just ain't going to happen. But it's really well positioned in the market, I think, to give you some great value. It's a cute looking hatchback. You can get it in several different colors. The last one we had was sporty blue. This is their plain clear white. So it all depends on what you want to get. You can go steel gray, you can get current red, so you can get a few colors, different colors on the Rio S. Of course, you can go ebony black too if you want to go black, but I've seen so many black cars lately. I'm so glad I could find a white one. It seems like the car makers, all they're doing is turning out black and dark gray cars right now. They must be in a gloomy mood or something. But as you can see, it goes through these on-ramps really, really well. When you step on the gas, and yeah, it's gonna take its time to get there. This is not gonna be a fast car, but man, it's a fun little car to drive, and it's flickable on the back roads. There's no doubt about it that this is going to be flickable on the back roads. The next Rio S we do, fingers crossed, will be a sporty blue with the S technology package. My local Kia dealer here, Ciocca Kia, has one coming in. Should be here, they say, mid-May. So I'm looking forward to jumping in that one before somebody comes up and buys it, because these things don't last long on the lots because of their price point. Before somebody comes up and buys it, I'm going to jump on this S technology package and give you guys an idea what that's going to bring to the interior LED lighting and all that other stuff. So fingers crossed I get my hands on that and nobody buys it before it arrives on the lot. But it is a really fun little car. Let me know what you guys think about this Rio Action, because I think it's a pretty darn fun car for the price. So for me, if I'm looking at a car sub 20 grand, S technology package sounds like a good plan, and that's probably what I would do if I was in the market for something like this. Let me know, what would you do? Would you take a look at the Rio S? Would you be going to some of the competition from Nissan, Toyota? I mean, they make the ultra small cars too. So let me know what you think about this Rio S. I'd be happy to hear from you. But here we are on the back roads now, and it's driving really nicely, and I really can't complain too much about how this is driven. So I think at this point we're going to wrap up this one and keep our fingers crossed we get that sporty blue S technology Rio on the channel sometime in the month of May. But I want to thank Ciocca Kia here in Ewing, New Jersey, for allowing the channel access to this 2023 Kia Rio S 5-door hatchback for a review today. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. Please also consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell so you'll never miss another Shabby's Rides video. And I'll see all of you on the rebound. Take care, everyone.